Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I want to give you 10 checklists so that before you place your very first 30% deposit, you can use this checklist to make sure that you're not making any sort of these mistakes. Because once you place your 30% deposit with your Chinese manufacturer, there is no going back, right? So in this video, like I said, I'm gonna go over those 10 things with you. But for those that are new to the channel, my name is Tom. I am a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller here in Vancouver, BC, Canada. And I'm also a Amazon mentor and the coach. And yes, I do have my very own Amazon FBA course as well. So if you're interested in learning from me, feel free to click in the link below. So let's get started with the very first thing. So I think a lot of people make the mistake of actually just trying Amazon with 200 units, 300 units, so on and so forth. They're like, oh, we'll just try this out to see if it works or not. First of all, it does work. Second of all, you cannot get started on Amazon with just 200 or 300 units anymore because Amazon's algorithm lately have changed. If you get your product onto Amazon with just 100, 200, 300 units, they know that you're actually low in stock. So they don't want to actually promote you to be on page 1 because you're gonna run out of stock very soon. So Amazon knows your inventory level. That's why I highly recommend all my students to start with a minimum of 1,200 units. This will allow you to actually do proper marketing, rank and bank, PPC, all that type of stuff. So don't get into this business with 200 or 300 units. If your budget doesn't fit, find another cheaper product. The second thing you need to be aware of is do not launch a product on Amazon that is patented or the brand name is trademarked. You cannot sell anything on Amazon that is patented unless you have permission from the patent owner, or you cannot create a brand name and put that brand name on your packaging and that brand name is actually trademarked. So I highly recommend for all of you to use the website USPTO to actually check, double check, and triple check that your brand name is not trademarked and the product itself is not patented. Number 3 is do not make this mistake of selling a product that is restricted. On Amazon, there's many different categories, and within each category, there are many products that you can sell, and there's also some products that you cannot sell. So for example, you cannot sell drugs on Amazon, duh, that's a very obvious one. But there are some that are not so obvious. So I highly recommend for you to go on Google, type in Amazon restricted categories or Amazon restricted products, and double and triple check that the product that you're selling is not in any of those categories. One of the most not the obvious one is essentially pesticides. So if you are not in the States, you cannot sell any pesticides related product. If you are in the States, you can take a quick 10 to 15 minute course on Amazon or something like that, and they will allow you to sell it. So make sure you don't sell something that is a pesticides related product. Number 4 is you must find a product that fits within the primary criteria when it comes to your product research. Now, this is something that my students know. So if you're watching this, you're part of the FBA Masterclass, go back and watch that checklist. But basically it's just your basic ones like such as demand, competition, and 4 other things. So make sure that the product that you launch fits within that criteria so that when you do launch the product, you have the highest chance to succeed. Number 5 is that you must make sure that the product you're selling is within the standard size category. So when you send something to Amazon, they have these laser things that will scan the outside of your box of each unit that you sell. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see some people making is that they package their product in poly bags, and the poly bags are actually really flimsy and loose. So if you are literally over the standard size tier by 0.0001 inches, they'll actually ding you and move you onto the bigger sizing tier, which is a small oversize. And once they do that, your Amazon FBA fees is going to increase dramatically. So please make sure that when you launch your product on Amazon, you're double, triple checking with your Chinese manufacturer. Get them to take out a ruler, take a photo of it, do whatever you gotta do to make sure that it's within the standard size tier. Number 6 is I'll highly recommend for you to order your top competitors' products. You will find so much gold in actually receiving the product. taking a look at how they're doing their packaging, taking a look at their insert cards, taking a look at the actual quality of the product. I see so many people getting to Amazon FBA, ordering some samples from China, think it's good enough, but it's all relative because you really need to, you're competing with the top competitors. So this way, if you have your samples from China and you have the top competitors' products, then you can really feel them out and see which one is better from a quality perspective. Then you have a benchmark to go off of. So make sure you're ordering your competitors' products to essentially hack their system, hack their product, take a look at their packaging, and so on and so forth. All right, number 7, this is so important. You need to make sure you know how to calculate your landed cost. So what is landed cost? Landed cost is all the costs that's associated with you bringing your product from China to Amazon. So what are those? Number 1, cost of goods sold. So that's your COGS. That is the actual, how much is this product costing you from China when you're ordering it, like the actual unit itself. So cost of goods sold. Then there's things like packaging, insert cards, and there's also shipping. That's a pretty big one, right? And the one that most people don't calculate is your duties. Guys, now with the Trump war, the trade war happening, you know, Trump is putting 25% duty on that, 12% of duty on this. You need to make sure you know how to calculate your landed cost, including your duties, so that there's no surprises. I've seen so many people making the mistake of ordering something, and when they get to the border, they're like, oh, I gotta pay another 25% on top. That's gonna eat into your margins. So make sure that you are calculating your entire landed cost. Number 8 is fill the FBA cash flow projection sheet. Now, again, this is accessible to my students only, and this sheet will really allow you to put all your data, all the numbers, everything in that spreadsheet so that you know how much budget you need to start this business. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people making is not understanding all the different costs that's associated to getting into this business. And in business, you really need to be the CEO, the CFO, the CMO, everything, the janitor. So in this case, you need to wear your CFO hat. So make sure that you are putting essentially all your projections, your cash flow, your cost, how many units you want to sell, so on and so forth, so that the spreadsheet itself will actually give you all those answers, and then everything becomes a lot more clear than you thinking, oh, I might need 500 for this, I might need 1,000 for this, right? So make sure you fill the cash flow projection sheet in chapter 2, and that way it will give you a lot more clarity. Number 9 is make sure that you are triple checking the actual product itself with your manufacturers. I would highly recommend putting everything on the actual invoice itself. And when you're first dealing with these Chinese manufacturers, you're using Alibaba Trade Assurance. Because that way, if everything's included, if you got the photos, if you got all the conversations and the specifications and the size and the packaging and everything is in that invoice, this way, if they do screw up, if there is a miscommunication, everything is written down on that invoice, and if something goes wrong, you can always get your money back from Alibaba Trade Assurance. So make sure, triple check with your Chinese manufacturers that they know exactly what you want and what you're gonna be selling to your customers. Last but not least, make sure you communicate with your Chinese manufacturer that there will be an inspection for your products. So I highly recommend for everybody to get inspections, at least for the first few times before you launch your very first product. Because inspections, if there's something that goes wrong, and if there are things that, something is wrong, for example, you can catch it in China. The product is not in Amazon, and now you're panicking, you don't know what to do. If you can catch the problem in China, that is the best part. So make sure that you're communicating with your supplier, make sure you're communicating with your inspection agency. Again, these are all available in the resource section for my students only, and contact them, just giving them a heads up. Be like, hey, once we place a 30% deposit, we're actually gonna be using our inspection agency. They're gonna come to your factory, they're gonna check the product, and this way, the manufacturer is not gonna be dicking around as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much it. So these are the 10 things that I'll highly recommend for everybody to check through before you place your 30% deposit. And if you got value out of this video, please hit the thumbs up. Also comment down in the section below, where are you on your Amazon FBA journey? I'm really interested in knowing that, as well as if you guys are interested in learning from someone like me who has established proven results, a great community of Amazon FBA sellers, feel free to click on the very first link below, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.